Good morning and happy Friday. On Wednesday, I forgot to say hump day, Mike. So I'm just going to catch up there because I missed doing that. So if you are not in Northern Illinois, congratulations. It is about 7 below actual temperature, and with the wind chill, it feels like 20 below this morning here in Northern Illinois. So if you get to live somewhere else, then good for you. So we've been talking about values and beliefs. Hopefully you went through and you did your hierarchy of values, your towards values and your away values. Like I said, you can absolutely readjust those. That is completely possible. The process to do that is not the easiest thing in the world. Awaken the Giant Within is the book in which Tony Robbins goes through how to do that. And the process for doing that is something that is exclusively his. So if that's something you want to do, that's where you're going to have to go. Now, we know that the beliefs are the target to reach the value, okay? So let's say that you have some limiting beliefs. Let's say that you have some beliefs about success or about life or about relationships or about your abilities that you want to get rid of. So how do you get rid of those beliefs? Because that is something that you can do on your own without even reading the book. If you want to change your values in terms of their order and sequence, I'm going to tell you that you probably got to read Awaken the Giant Within. That's quite a process. The way to change a belief is pretty straightforward. Remember that we will do anything to avoid pain, and we always want to be trying to gain pleasure. That's what the brain's always doing. That's what the body is always doing. And we'll do a lot more to avoid pain than we will to gain pleasure. Think about it. If you, let's say that you made a decision that you wanted to make $1 million. Okay, that's great. But let's say you had $1 million sitting in your garage and somebody was coming to steal it. Do you think you'd be more motivated to go make it or more motivated to protect it so that somebody else doesn't steal it? My guess is you're going to be more motivated to do the latter, and that is because we are, generally speaking, more motivated to avoid pain. That's just how it works. So if you want to change a limiting belief, the way to do it is to attach pain to it. Well, how do you do that? Well, you look at what that belief is going to cost you. If I keep this belief, what is it going to cost me? And you go out into the future. If you've ever been around any type of addiction process, if you've ever read the big book, I think it's called, the Alcoholic Anonymous book, the right title of it. The process that AA takes you through is simply this same process. What do? They take a look and they say, what is the pain that drinking has caused you and the people that you love, because you got to do the intervention stuff, in the past, in the present, and what will it cost you in the future if you don't change? That's essentially the process that they take you through. They add more steps, go back and reconcile the past so that you don't live there. They have you do some other things. But if you think about that process, that's exactly what they do. And that's a great process for creating lasting change. Asking yourself the question, if I continue to have this belief, what is it going to cost me? What is it going to cost the people that I care about? What is it going to cost the people that I love? And what is it going to cost in the future? Go out 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. So like if you smoke, and you have a belief that you're a smoker, that's your identity, I'm not going to stop. What is that going to cost you? 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. If you're having trouble getting yourself in alignment with your finances so that you can create financial freedom, and assuming that that's something that you want to create, what is it going to cost you if you don't figure that out right now? And what is it going to cost you 5 years, 10 years, 15 years? That's the way to change a limiting belief. But you can't just do it intellectually. You got to feel the feelings. Remember, we'd like to think that we are creatures of logic, but we're really not. We are creatures of emotion. And we use logic to justify our actions. Here's why I did this. And we rationalize it. But really, most of our actions are based upon emotion. That's the whole basis of all of these self-help technologies, is to, number one, teach you how to manage your emotions, your state, right? What we've been talking about pretty much for the last month. And then how to do it in a way, or how to create systems in a way so that it becomes habitual, so you don't have to think about it, so then your reactions aren't as significant. So if you have limiting beliefs, and we all do, we all have them. This, there's no destination in life. It's always a journey. So this is always an evolution. Every time I go to Date with Destiny, we do Date with Destiny once a year. Every time I go there, I'm looking at my values. I'm looking at my beliefs. And I'm at the stage where I'm not rearranging everything, but I'm always tweaking. Last time I did Date with Destiny, I combined a couple of values. I did this, I did that. I added a definition. I just added a definition to one of my beliefs that's I believe having a significant impact. This is always an evolution. Why do you keep going to all of these events? Because every time I go, I'm a different person, so I'm going to learn something different. So it's what do you want to work on? Do you want to work on watching sports and going and playing the machines, or do you want to work on yourself and your finances and your relationships and your habits, and to create the life that you want? Remember our phrase: design your own life. Don't become part of somebody else's design for theirs. This is all part of designing your own life, and it's an evolving system that needs to be evaluated consistently and regularly, and then adjusted as you keep going. Just like that airplane flying from Chicago to Hawaii has to constantly adjust which direction it's going. How often do you do this? At least every 6 months. You don't want to do it every month, that's too much, but you want to at least do it every 6 months, where you take a look at your values and beliefs and see where you're at and get things in alignment. Once you make the big adjustments, then it'll just be tweaking. But if you leave it for like 4 years, I did my first Date with Destiny in 2000 and then came back in 2016. And believe me, I had some things that I needed to work on, because I did great in 2000, but then let it go. And you need to keep up on it. It's just like exercise. Why am I down here in this room? Because you can't exercise once and then be done. The same is true with this stuff. So take a look at your limiting beliefs, attach more pain to keeping the belief than changing. Feel it in your gut, and you're going to be able to create lasting change and get a new belief. Tomorrow, we're going to shift gears, and we're going to start talking about the power of goal setting. And then we're going to I'll tell you tomorrow. We'll have a special announcement. Have a great Friday, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to say hi, Mr. Dakin. Good morning, sir. My Uncle Bill. Great to see you. Mr. Lampy, you made it on this morning. And Mr. Drehobel, you got to be very happy that you are not living in northern Illinois, where it's 20 below this morning. Thanks for watching, everybody, very, very much. It's great to see you. We're all in this together. Let's take care of each other.